Hey guys, today I want to do a review and a demonstration of this software that I just bought, which is called VorpX. So VorpX is a VR 3D driver, and it's for VR headsets. So seems like according to their website, it works with pretty much all the different headsets out there. So if you have an Oculus Rift, if you have an Oculus Quest, HTC Vive, or the Valve Index, which is what I'm using, or any of the Windows mixed reality headsets, it should work. But basically what the software allows you to do is to play non-VR games. See, this is all the headsets they support. Looks like it's everything, right? The Premax, Cosmos, Windows mixed reality, pretty much all the VR headsets out on the market right now are supported. And what this software allows you to do is to play traditionally non-VR games in VR. So it's kind of like a VR converter, if you want to call it that. So there's a few different modes it gives you, like a full VR mode. So this is called a Direct 3D or Direct 3D VR or something like that. So it uses a DirectX. I think it looks for like DirectX 9, 10, 11. I think some DirectX 12 games work as well. But yeah, I found this pretty interesting because obviously if we have a lot of older games, it would be nice to play them in VR. And if you have even newer games, right, like Cyberpunk 2077, they don't have official VR support. So it really would be nice to try these games out in VR and see how it works out. So the price of this software is about $40 US. So it's not cheap, but I wouldn't say it's like ridiculously expensive either. It's just something, it's almost like the price of a game. So if you think that it's worth it just to give it a shot, then I do recommend it. So I'm going to test it out first, and that's what this video is for. Actually, if you guys are curious about software like this, if you're into VR like I am, or if you have a VR headset, if you have a lot of older games that you want to play or interested in playing in VR, then I think this could be worth a shot. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a demonstration to see how well the software actually works, right? So there's a few, let's see what's the newest releases right now. Okay, the newest release is 2.1.1, released not that long ago, just on Christmas Eve last year. And yeah, so it looks like they do support some DirectX 12 games, but yeah, so there's some games that are listed here: BioShock Infinite, Half-Life 2, Dirt. So the full supported list, I think they added support for Cyberpunk as well. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which I think already has a VR mode in an update. So yeah, let's look at the supported games. And there's a long list of games here, but you'll notice that they are mostly confined to games like 2017 and before, but I do think that newer games should work as well. Okay, so like, yeah, Cyberpunk has been added, so there are some newer games on here, but there are other games here that I think would be interesting to try out, like the Metro series. Dead Space would be interesting to try out, Far Cry, Fallout, GTA. So I'm not going to try out all these games. I'm just going to try out some for the sake of time, but this is a pretty good list. So yeah, it includes some newer games as well. Outer Worlds, I think, is a pretty newer game. Just got released last year. And yeah, even Jedi Fallen Order, that also got released last year. That's on here as well. So yeah, I do think that there are some newer games on here that they support. And they are kept up to date as well, because we saw the latest driver was released just last Christmas Eve. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to try out this software, VorpX, and you guys can see how well it works with some of the games, and see if it's worth it or not to buy it. So yeah, stay tuned. So after you purchase VorpX, you have to email their email address to get a license key, and then you have to activate it. For every computer you use VorpX on, you got to do this. It's kind of a hassle, but once you do that, you get the program itself, and can actually use it and install it. So this is the VorpX config, which is basically the point of entry after you start VorpX. So here you can make your device selection. I have it selected to Steam VR because I'm using the Valve Index, but you can also have a separate one for Oculus Rift and Quest, I guess. And then you have local profiles, which is the profiles that it comes with. This is all the games that was on the list right there. And I imported a few of my own because they didn't show up here. So yeah, these are all the ones that are in the default supported list, right? So you have, yep, a decent amount of games supported here, but there might be some games that you don't see on here, right? So you have to go to Cloud Profiles if you want to find the game. Like for me, I want to try it out with Cloudpunk, right? So I just do a search here, and this will search for all the games that other people have basically optimized, and then you can import it. Right? You can choose to import the profile or endorse it if you like it. So I did that for Cloudpunk. I also did that for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which they did not support. So I found some Mirror's Edge Catalyst ones as well. I imported those. And also found Far Cry 5. I don't think they have Far Cry 5. Yeah, Far Cry 5 as well. So there's a few different ones I imported because it didn't exist. So that's why you see this one in blue here is the one I imported. And how this works is that VorpX will look at your processes that's running on your computer, and this is the name of the process, and it will basically attach to that, right? So it will attach to that, to the name of the process, and then it will attempt to do its kind of VR conversion on it, right? So that's why all these game profiles are pretty custom, because all the different process names are different, all the executable names are different. That's why there's like a different one for each. But yeah, that's basically how it works. And then this is cinema environments, in-game key bindings, and then excluded programs. So you, of course, there's a lot of programs you don't want VorpX to attach itself to. So for example, what a Microsoft Excel, right, will be another one. Or the Origin launcher, or Steam, Photoshop, all these programs that you don't want to have VR in, right? These are going to be excluded here. You can always add the file, you know, just select an exe basically, and it'll try to exclude it, right? Because yeah, for example, like if you want to use like a WeChat client or something like that, or if I want to use you know, Adobe Premiere, or yeah, like a web browser or something like that, you don't want VorpX to attach to those things because that's not a game, right? So you actually gotta put it here. And then go to restore game settings. It's like kind of a backup, troubleshooting help. This is pretty much, that's pretty much it. You can add a custom resolution, I guess. That's really all there is to it, to setting up VorpX, right? Okay, so that's it. And now I will go into Steam and try to play around with some games. So this is my Steam library, and there's a few games I want to test out here with VorpX. Mostly I want to test out first-person games, right? Because I think that's where you would get the most benefit of VorpX, since, you know, it's supposed to convert a non-traditional VR game into VR, and of course first-person shooters generally offer the most immersion anyways. So if you want to try out first, Cloudpunk, I want to try this one out first. This is an indie cyberpunk game that I really like, and there is a first-person mode in this game, both in when you on the platforms and stuff, and when you're driving. So this is a game I really want to test out. So yeah, let's play Cloudpunk. So when you click this, it says Cloudpunk will launch your environment in your VR HMD. So I'm gonna put on my HMD, right, and I have Steam VR Home right now running on my HMD, and my controllers turned on, my Valve Index controllers. All right, so we're gonna click OK here. And then VorpX should automatically detect this game running in my processes and attach to it. That's generally how it works. Okay. So now it says VorpX attaching to cloudpunk.exe, right? So that means it found it and it's attaching to it. And then there you go. So you see a VorpX watermark. If you see a VorpX watermark on the game, that means it's attached successfully. Okay. So now I'm using my Cloudpunk profile. So even though you guys might not actually see anything, you know, different on the screen, but in reality, I'm actually controlling the mouse cursor with my Valve Index controllers now. So I'm controlling it using my controllers, so it's pretty cool. So I'm going to continue. And you guys might not hear any sound coming from it either, because, you know, the sound is getting pumped through my VR headset. And wow, okay, this is kind of trippy. Okay, so again, on the screen it might not look too different, but in the game, like when I move my head, I can actually see around the environment. So it's actually pretty cool. So yeah, I can control everything. I can control the game using my Valve Index controllers, and everything works. So if I press, this is escape, right? Escape is pressing down on here, and then let's see, I can actually, yeah, this is my home, my apartment in this game. And yeah, again, you don't see anything different on the screen, but in my headset, I can actually move around and I can see part of the environment. But it's not exactly the same as native, I would say. I can still see sort of an edge to the screen. It's almost like you're in a really big virtual display. The display is generally big enough that you don't see the edges, but sometimes if you lean like far enough to the edges, you might see a bit of the edge of the virtual screen. But generally, I think it's okay. And then, so E is basically mapped to this, right? To A button on my controller. Okay. And it's stereoscopic 3D, so it's like, whoa. Whoa, it's like, yeah, I'm watching a 3D movie or something like that. It's like everything is... Or it's like wearing 3D glasses. Remember like wearing 3D glasses? It's kind of like that. So it's like, this is a stereoscopic 3D, and I can actually see the environment, and it's like... Yeah, it's almost like you're watching a 3D movie. But I will see it's kind of disorienting. Yeah. Kind of disorienting because the 3D can be sometimes overwhelming. And I think I can't play this for too long on VorpX, because I think VorpX it looks like it's doing its job, but the problem is that it's a little bit overwhelming. Maybe it's a 3D effect or something, but I can see myself getting like a headache if I play this for too long. It's a little bit disorienting, because it's like all so in my face, right? So yeah, this is definitely interesting, but I'm not sure how long I can play this. It's like, it's going to give me motion sickness, I think. I think the good thing about VR games, you know, regular native VR games, is maybe it's a 3D effect or something like that. It's something about the direct VR 3D that's giving me an issue. Yeah, because it's like... okay. Yeah, definitely it feels more immersive in VorpX, but it's just, it's like too much, you know? Like my head's like... I think if I play this too long, I'll definitely get like a headache. But I think for like, you know, maybe 10-20 minutes is fine. If I play this for like more than 30 minutes, I might have an issue. Okay, so I'm going to go to my car and I'm going to see what's like driving. Because there is a first person mode when I'm driving in the car too. So my car is right here, okay. As I can look down and I can see the map. So that's cool. Okay, this is my car. I can get in with the A button on my controller, which maps to the E button in the game. So I can get in. Okay, wow. It's first person in a car, so wow, this is I gotta I gotta reorient myself with the controls here. So I think B is to go up, and pressing down on the left stick here is to go down. Okay. Okay, I think that's how it works. Oh, wow. Okay, this is really crazy. So yes, it does feel like I'm first person in the car. And if I look around, it's like I can see around the car windows and stuff, but it's a little bit disorienting. Because it's basically like super zoomed in, if that makes sense. Like usually when you play this game, or what you're seeing on the screen right now, that's like pretty zoomed out. But in my headset, it's like super zoomed in. So it can be a little bit hard to see what's going on. It's like super zoomed in, and sometimes I do have to like remove my head to see a little bit about what's outside. But yeah, this is oh man, I'm not I'm not doing well. Okay, let me see if it's B to go up. Okay. Okay, well, oh my god. I'm glad the Valve Index has support up to 144 hertz refresh rate, because I think with VorpX it might be easy to get motion sickness. Oh, okay. Because these games are not meant for VR, right? So, oh man, okay. It's hard to control. I will say that it's fairly immersive, though. I mean, it is what you would expect. It's kind of immersive that you're actually inside the game like this, and you can like look around, and you kind of like it's almost equivalent to moving the mouse cursor around. See a little bit outside of your view, which is cool. But yeah, I'm not sure how long I can play this without getting a headache. That's the only thing. And everything's like 3D too, so it's like it's all in my face. Okay. Definitely don't play it this way if you really want to be good at the game. It's just for immersion, I think it's cool. It's just a fun thing for immersion, but I don't think I'll be able to actually play the game well like this. I land somewhere? Is there a... Okay, I'm looking for a parking spot maybe. I want to land again. Well, oh man. I'll go forward. Whoa. Whoa. Looks like I might be able to land there. Let's see if I can land there. Oh, it's kind of hard to see what's around me, actually. Okay, let's see if I can land here. What? I can't land here? It's like a big spot here, though. Okay. That sucks. Ah. Terrible driver. Okay, it looks like there's no parking spot there either. I thought that H spot would be a good landing pad, but I guess not. And what about down here? Okay, I think I found a parking spot down here. Come on. Right in front of the Cloudpunk headquarters. Okay, there. Now I'm back on foot. Yep, definitely I think it's more immersive than before. Yeah. Not too bad. I can't say it's almost like... It's not exactly like native VR, though. It's not like I can move my hands or something like that. It doesn't work like that. I think what VorpX adds is more immersion, because you can actually like look around the headset and see around the area, which is cool. But it's not going to emulate actual native VR, because your hands aren't actually moving anything when you move your controllers. But you can use your controllers for game actions, right? So like this. No thanks. What? Yeah. No, let's go here. Whoa. No, it's kind of cool. Alright, yeah, I think it works with direct 3D VR for Cloudpunk. So there's no issues here using a controller or something like that. That all maps fine, I think. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, these controllers are not meant for Windows menus. Okay, there. Okay. So yeah, that was Cloudpunk, and it seems to work. It's just so it's not like a native VR game, right? So when you use your controller, it's not like your hands or something appear in the game. It's not like that. But what it does give you, I think, is basically it's like you're in the game like first person mode, right? You're like super zoomed in, and then when you look around, it actually like turns around as if you're moving your cursor around, and then there's a 3D stereoscopic 3D effect on top of that, right? So that's what I felt, which is cool and definitely immersive. But I'm not sure if I can play it for long periods of time. And I definitely can't be good playing the game like this, right? Because it's not meant to be played like that. So because you're playing in like a super zoomed in state. So definitely just a cool thing and a cool experience. But I'm not sure if it's if it's something I can really play as long as like a native VR game. Okay, next up, I want to try Cyberpunk 2077. This one should be good. They said they have a native profile for it. So the Cloudpunk profile is not a native one. But VorpX added a profile for this in their latest update. So let's see if it works. Good. Okay, so I see the VorpX watermark, which means it attached correctly, but it doesn't look like my controllers really work. Yeah, I don't think my controllers are working. Okay, so this might not be full support since my Valve Index controllers are not working in this game, but my headset's working. It's just not my controllers. Okay, I'll have to use my keyboard and mouse then. So that. Okay, so, okay, interesting. So yeah, my controllers don't work with this game like it did with Cyberpunk, but I can always use my keyboard and mouse, of course, but my headset does work. So you can see actually in the game even, whenever I turn my head, the screen is turning in the game as well, right? So it's trying to emulate the effect of my mouse cursor, essentially. So, okay. Oh, and then in the headset, it's basically just like a really big version of the screen, right? So I'm basically playing like on a virtual display here. It's not all too different playing on virtual, but I do have head tracking, which is really nice. So that's cool. Okay. And it's not 3D. So that's actually better though, because I don't get as nauseated. Because when I was playing Cloudpunk, because everything was in stereoscopic 3D and it was like super zoomed in and close to me, it felt kind of overwhelming. And it kind of gave me some nausea. But now, when I'm playing Cyberpunk, there's no stereoscopic 3D, right? And it actually feels a little bit more comfortable. So this actually might be better. And I still get head tracking, which is good, but the controllers don't work. But it's still very immersive, actually, in here. I'm going to talk to this. Whoa. Okay, so yeah, this is almost like this is very impressive actually. It's almost like a native 3D, like a native VR game, except no controller support. So you won't see like your hands moving or something like that. You're still using the keyboard and mouse just like you would on a normal, display. But you get head tracking. So if it essentially is, yeah, essentially is almost like a native VR game except without controller support, which is still cool, right? Still feels fairly immersive, actually. Yeah. Very, very cool. and no performance issues so far. By the way, I think in the window you're seeing a very small like resolution or something like that. But of course, in my headset, you don't see any of that. It's all blown up right around me, so you're not seeing any borders or anything. Okay, wow. And let's actually see if I can. Oh shit. Oh shit. I want to deal with that. Where's my weapons? Oh, here we go. I have access to my weapons. Oh, interesting. So I can click the middle mouse button, and it kind of if I press the middle mouse button, it zooms out into this virtual display, and then if I click the middle mouse button again, it goes back into this more immersive, where you don't really see the edges. So that's interesting. Where's my weapon? Oh, okay. For some reason I don't have access to it. Okay, well I can just run around, I guess. Yep. Oh man, it's like a dead body here. Whoa. Yeah, so I can like look around me, see everything. Wow. I think I'll need to have a better PC to really get the full benefits of this though. So I do think that for some reason the resolution probably isn't as high as I would expect when I'm doing this, when I'm using the VR headset. So I think I probably need a really powerful PC so I can like really, well that plus if I get an HP Reverb G2 I might be able to see better resolution from this as well. That's probably another thing. Just of course I'm used to playing this on a 4K TV screen, right? So I think the even the Valve Index is not going to match up to that in terms of the resolution. Okay, wow. So I think it works, except for the controller support. It works fairly well with Cyberpunk 2077. It's like it's got full head tracking and everything. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, 24 hours. Let's buy something from the vending machine. Oh, okay. I have to use my head to help select something. Oh shoot. Oh shit, he's coming after me. No. Better run. Alright, weapons. I do have my weapons here, right? For some reason it doesn't let me take them out. Shoot, he's still after me. Oh shit. Time to hide. Damn it, everyone's after me. Wow. Can look at the food and stuff. Fat Joe. Alright, anyways, I think that's all for now. Wow, okay. Whew. Yeah, so Cyberpunk 2077, it seems to be working just for the head tracking, right? So when you move your head, it moves in the game, so that seems to be working. Just there's no controller support. But I think actually, even though there's no controller support, it seems still pretty immersive because of the head tracking. So I think it's not bad. Not bad. But again, maybe I'm just used to playing this on a 4K TV display, but it doesn't seem as high resolution in my VR headset, right? So that's the only thing. Alright, next game I want to try out is Deus Ex Human Revolution. This is one of my favorite Cyberpunk games. Well, just, one of my favorite FPS games in general. So I just want to try it out and see how it plays in VR. So yeah, let's try this one out. And there's already a profile that VorpX has installed for this game. So let's see if that works. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, so it looks like it's working. VorpX watermark I see on the screen. So, let's see. Okay, yeah, this one seems to have controller support. Cool. So let's continue. Oh, wow, okay. Oh. Okay, yeah, so this one, head tracking support, and it's got stereoscopic 3D, I think. Well, the weird thing is, when I play this game using VorpX, and in my headset right now, like on the screen right now, it looks totally normal. But on my headset, it's like everything seems a little bit warped. Maybe because it's like zoomed in and stuff. So it is like zoomed in, like in the game, in my headset. And for that reason, everything seems a little bit warped. So, yeah, it seems a little bit weird. Oh. Jump. So I can take this. Okay, I can take that. Steal something. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how well I can play this game like this. Because everything is just like super zoomed in and like warped. I mean, it's definitely, it's playable, I guess, and it's kind of immersive because you have the head tracking, but I think it'll give you some motion sickness. Yeah. Because everything's always like warping when I walk. I guess it's because like it's trying to zoom in and get like a different perspective all the time. Oh man. Okay. See if I can. Oh. Okay, cutscenes are really weird. Because cutscenes are like super zoomed in, so I can't really see the entire cutscene. It's like super cropped. You all look alike to me. Okay. So yeah, the cutscenes are like super zoomed in. They're like super cropped. So I can't see the entire cutscene. Okay, let's see if I can hack this. Oh, okay. Hack? Security rating. Too low to hack device. Okay. Okay. Let's exit. Yes. Not sure how long I can play this for. Okay, it's time to shoot people. Actually, can I buy a drink from here? Die. Oh no, I don't know what's going on. No, I died pretty fast. Okay. Yeah, don't do that in the club. Okay, I exit. Okay, so controller support works in Deus Ex. Oh. Okay. Come on, right there. Alright, so controller support definitely works in Deus Ex. Head tracking works. It's just in the game, it's a little bit disorienting because, like, everything's like always kind of warping when you like look around, and everything's like super cropped and zoomed in. So it's a little bit of a disorienting experience. I probably wouldn't play it this way. But I will say that controller support works, head tracking works, but I probably wouldn't play it like that. Alright, next game I want to try is, let's try Outer Worlds, actually. I think that would be an interesting game to try in VR. Okay. Alright, so Outer Worlds, it looks like my controllers work, which is really cool. So, yeah, let's try it. Alright, so yeah, I mean, looks like my head tracking is working, my controllers are working, which is cool, and it's not in stereoscopic 3D, which is a good thing for me, so I don't get as much nausea. But yeah, it looks like, okay, so moving my head is actually helping aim the thing. Okay, let's shoot, let's jump. Let's see, this is that. Okay, that's the menu. Talk to this.
Carry on.
Okay. Give me a conversation here. Alright, no, I'll talk to this guy.
Sorry about the heat.
So again, it's kind of like super zoomed in for me. I mean, I can see the dialogue at least, which is more than what I can say for Deus Ex, but okay, but at least I can see the dialogue. That's good.
Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget.
Okay, so here, trade. Oh, let's leave the conversation. There. Alright, so head tracking sort of works, right? It moves the cursor around. My controllers work. I think this is actually the most compatible game I've played so far. Better than Cyberpunk because it's controller support, and then better than Deus Ex and better than Cloudpunk. So, yeah. Only because there's no stereoscopic 3D for Cloudpunk, and it doesn't warp like it does for Deus Ex. When in Deus Ex, it's like everything's like warped around when I move, when I move my head. But here, it's totally fine. So there's no warping going on. So that's good. So yeah. What's this do? Transition to back base. We talk to Parvati.
Yeah, huh?
It's just super zoomed in. That's the only thing. But that's what I guess they have to do in order to get that VR effect, is to zoom in the game.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells.
Okay. Terminal. Okay, I definitely can't see the terminal very well. Okay, there. Alright, just gotta find the right buttons for everything. Yeah, I think Outer Worlds is definitely the most compatible game so far, right? Because it has controller support, which Cyberpunk doesn't. It doesn't have this the 3D effect that Cloudpunk has, which is really disorienting, and it doesn't have the warping effect that Deus Ex have, which is also very disorienting. So I think Outer Worlds is pretty good. Alright, not bad. Okay, cool. And I can emulate the cursor with my controller as well. Cool. Yeah, okay, head tracking definitely works in this game, in Mirror's Edge. Okay, and my controllers also work, so it's cool. And also, by the way, guys, whenever you have VorpX controllers working in a game, they actually label everything for you. Like in my headset, I can see my controllers and, you know, what everything does. Like it's what it's mapping to. Like the buttons, I can see WASD, Shift, F and R is what this maps to, space and E, C, escape, and I can even see the sides here. This is like map shift, and this is edge peak, and this is left click, and this is right click. So yeah, I can see everything what my controllers are mapped to in the headset. So that's very, very cool. Alright, but again, just like all the other VorpX games, this is like super zoomed in. Okay, I'm gonna try to, this is jump. Alright, and then let's kick, okay. Alright, well, this is interesting game for a VR, because this is like a parkour game. Okay, cool. Alright. So I'm glad I have a high refresh rate on the Valve Index. I think it would be very... It would make me motion sick if I didn't have this. Okay. Whoa.
I've been getting a few other components for the Outcast, and with these chips, they'll have everything they need.
Yeah, everything's like... Oh, man. Alright. Whoa. Oh shit. How do I duck? Let's see. So I know there's a button to slide or something. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Forget what the button is to slide. Nope. Oh well. Well. Yeah, this game is pretty fast-paced, so I think if you don't, you need to have a high refresh headset for this one. But otherwise, I think it's okay for what it is. The only thing is it suffers from the same problem that other VorpX games has, which is because it's super zoomed in. Whenever you move your head, it's like super sensitive, right? Whenever you move your head, it's like super sensitive, and then everything is kind of like blurry. And there's like a little bit of motion blur when you move your head because of how zoomed in it is. But I think that's just what it is, how VorpX works. So yeah. Where else am I supposed to go? Oh, okay. Yeah, the only thing is the super zoomed in state and how sensitive it is when you turn your head. That makes it a little bit disorienting and can give you nausea. Alright, but otherwise I think Mirror's Edge is definitely one of the better games I've played so far with the support. Sometimes you gotta zoom out in order to see the full menu. So I gotta click my middle mouse button to zoom out the screen so that I can actually see the entire menu sometimes. Alright, so this is GTA 5, and I'm going to be testing it out in VR. Doesn't look like there's controller support for this one. Yeah, so my controller doesn't do anything, so I think I'm going to have to use my keyboard and mouse for this one, just like I did for Cyberpunk. So, yeah, let's go to story mode. Try it out. It does have the VorpX watermark on it, which means that it is attached and successfully. So we see how well it works with GTA 5. Alright, so yeah, I'm in first person mode already in GTA 5. Yep, the controllers don't work, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to use headset. Head tracking does seem to be working though, so that's good. Alright, cool. Alright, so yeah, yeah, this seems to be very similar to Cyberpunk 2077. So I can move my head, and it moves around because it's tracking my movements on my head. Controller doesn't work, but I can use my keyboard and mouse. So I think this is definitely pretty good. There's no stereoscopic 3D in this one, so I don't feel any nausea. So yeah, this one is okay. It's just like with Cyberpunk, there's slightly decreased resolution because I'm playing on a VR headset now. But head tracking seems pretty interesting. Okay. I can definitely see myself playing this for maybe a little bit. Compared to the other ones, I think this one's actually pretty good. Okay, so... Oh. I can see maybe, I guess... Oh, I don't even have any weapons. Right. And let's punch someone out and see what happens. Okay. Yep. Oh, you want to fight, huh? Oh. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's take a car. Steal a car. It's, oh, cheap looking car, let's take it. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is that now it does really feel like I'm in a car. and since GTA 5 is set in LA, this really does look like LA, and it's like I'm driving in LA right now. And, you know, if I can move my head, I can see out the windows, everything. That's cool. So it's definitely more immersive, I think. So VorpX, I think, is actually doing a pretty good job with GTA 5 with this game. It's pretty nice. Alright, except just no controller support, but the head tracking and everything feels very immersive. Oh. Almost makes me feel like I'm in LA. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'm a bad driver. Okay, and it does seem to run better than Cyberpunk because this game is, you know, older than Cyberpunk. Alright, so yeah, driving a car in GTA 5 feels really nice, actually. Almost feels like I'm actually driving. Of course, I don't have a steering wheel controller or anything like that, but if I had one, that would be even more realistic. And then, yeah, I think it works pretty well. Head tracking works well. It's not too zoomed in, so unlike the other games, like I said, with the other VorpX games, it gets too zoomed in, and it kind of makes it very disorienting, but not for GTA 5. It seems this one is fine. It's not too zoomed in or anything. So I would think that GTA 5 is actually my best experience so far with VorpX. Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh. see. Can I use this? Usually if you kick a vending machine, it'll let out a can. It doesn't do that. Alright. Huh. Oh yeah, this definitely makes me feel like I'm in LA. Alright. Alright, cool. Yeah, GTA 5 is cool. That works pretty well. So that's it. Yes. Okay, yep, so definitely I think GTA 5 has been my best experience so far. Has head tracking, doesn't have controller support, but unlike the other games, it's not super zoomed in, so when I turn my head, it doesn't feel that disorienting. And then driving a car and everything actually feels pretty realistic and immersive. So I think that's the game I've had the best experience with. But anyways, guys, that's it. I've tried a few games with VorpX, and it's about $40. So if I go to the store right now, yeah, so if you decide to buy it, it will cost around $40 US, $50 Canadian. If you guys think it's worth it to try out a few games with VorpX, then I think that's worth the price. But otherwise, none of this is really going to match up to a native VR game, obviously. But I think it does a pretty decent job for some games, right? Other games, you know, it varies. But at least for some games, I think it actually works fairly better than I expected. So, anyways, guys, that's my review of the VorpX VR 3D driver. It works with any headset. If you guys have a Oculus Rift or HTC Vive or Valve Index or Windows Mixed Reality, any of those ones, it should work with those. So, alright, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.